we unlock Fulmin at Master Rank 8, which is a bargain. Weapon has 2 fire modes, semi-auto and auto, good all-round stats, and infinite ammo. Despite having no slash damage, it's one of the most scalable firearms at that master rank. And it has 2 things to thank to for making that happen. For one, semi-auto fire mode forces impact. It does so up to about the range of where fall-off starts to kick in. That makes it quite good for internal bleeding, plus the fire rate is below 2.5, so you do get a double effect. For 2, high critical chance means hunter munitions is on the table. So, which one do we pick? Well, both, and there's a good reason for it. Semi-auto fire has a limited range, so impact procs will not happen beyond that. All while internal bleeding and hunter munitions are calculated separately, you cannot have more than 1 bleed proc per projectile, which means that they won't stack to add more bleeding than that, but it also means that if one doesn't proc, the other one just may do it, which makes it a bit more consistent when it comes to bleeding. Also, full auto mode does not force impact, so hunter munitions boost that mode quite a bit. To build it, we go with critical chance, critical damage, viral, multi-shot, galvanized aptitude, and above mentioned hunter munitions and internal bleeding. Terminal velocity increases range of semi-auto fire, and pushing that also pushes the range at which you still keep doing the forced impact proc, which makes this mod quite optimal for this weapon. Galvanized aptitude works really well with Fulmin. Forcing impact and building to force bleeding makes it quite potent. Add to it that weapon has electricity as part of base damage, and we're building viral on it. Only drawback of the weapon is recharge speed. It has 1 second delay before recharging at the speed of 20 rounds per second, which ends up being 4 seconds, which is pretty slow. But if you don't empty the entire mag, then it's not that slow, obviously. I do not know what would I sacrifice in this build to try to make it faster. I would probably just prefer getting a ribbon that opens up 2 mod slots, like having Toxin and Cold in there. Fractalized Reset Arcane might be worth it with certain setups, but since damage sacrifice is hella high, I would probably not run that in very high level missions. Talking about ribbon stats, if you are going for it, then in my opinion projectile flight speed is one of the top tier stats to look for, because of how forced impact works on range with this weapon. Extra fire rate is a no-no, as pushing fire rate above 2.5 ruins the internal bleeding double effect. If you get a good ribbon roll but it has fire rate, then maybe it would be worth checking out if critical delay can bring the fire rate down enough. Just a tad below 2.5 is all we need. And extra critical chance of critical delay over point strike sure helps as well. One a tad wonky thing with Fulmin is headshots. As with a lot of weapons with wide projectiles, it can be a struggle to hear that melon pop, as the projectile hits the enemy's hands or chest first. My tip for that would be to aim slightly above the head to get that headshot multiplier. If you find it too odd to aim above the enemy to hit the enemy, then swap out primary deadhead for an arcane of your choice. Despite having few drawbacks, weapon is great, and likely one of the best firearms you can get at such master rank. Also, having infinite ammo surely plays a part in people hanging on to it for quite a while after getting it. After all, last year it was one of the most popular primary weapons in the game. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.